Next, we wanted to invite Rich back up with actually his godson, Chip Tolson, and he's going to speak about really how do we turn this into a transformational moment, and to also include some thoughts from his godson, Chip Tolson. So give Chip a warm welcome as well.
Chip, you look surprised. Are you surprised? Come on up. Good to see you, man. So, say hi, everybody.
Hi.
So, this little guy comes from a really powerful Washington family. Do you know the great debater, Tolson? That's his family, right? One of our great poets. And also, Industrial Bank, the first African-American bank in the United States, is also his family. So you come from very powerful leaders in Washington, and we're going to need leaders like you in the world. I want to talk to you. We have not talked since the election. I got a text from your mom, though, saying that you were a little upset. With the election, and I got a lot of texts from a lot of moms, and I got a lot of videos from a lot of moms, and I thought it was important for us today to hear from kids and hear how you're doing with all this. So I just wanted to, so what are you comfortable talking to me about it? A little bit? A little nervous? Getting a little nervous up here? What was your reaction? What were your reaction to the election? What are you upset about?
Donald Trump being president.
Yeah. And what made you so upset about it?
He's mean.
Anything else? Yeah. So, one thing I wanted to say to you is that you and I play a lot of sports together. What do we do together?
We jog and we have fun together.
Yeah. We do. We've done some bowling. He's a great chess player, and he beats me a lot. But and after you lose in sports, sometimes in sports language can get pretty bad, right? And it can get pretty upset, and you can use language that's not appropriate. And when that happens with kids, what do parents say to the kids?
What did you just say?
Yeah. What did you just say? Exactly. Well, I'm going to apologize to you for the parents, because we have created a real scary atmosphere for kids in this country, and we've made you nervous, and we've used bad language as adults. So I wanted to apologize to you, and I wanted to just tell you and all the kids who are out there watching that you're very loved. You have nothing to worry about. Your parents love you. Godfather loves you. And who else loves you?
God.
Good answer. He knows the right answer, right? Yeah, you're protected. God, you're blessed by God. You're protected by God. So when you hear these things, I remember one time you watched a really scary movie with your friends. Yeah, and what happened after that?
So I was only 4, so I got scared and I screamed.
And we've talked about that a lot over the years, that movie. So sometimes we watch a movie and it gets you really upset, but I just want to say in reality, there's less to be scared about. And so you might be worried and you might be nervous right now, but it's going to be okay. Do you believe me?
Yes.
Okay, good answer. All right, thanks, Chip. One thing I just want to stress for all of us is that we are creating a narrative. We tell stories, and we can tell stories where we're good and they're evil. And it can get quite hysterical on both sides. And kids pick up that energy, and they cannot handle that energy. So we have to be very careful. So I just say we have to love our kids, we have to protect our kids, and make sure that they feel safe and loved, because we can work things out. I just wanted to share one quick story in my experience that might give you a tiny little bit of hope in my life. But when I came to do log cabin in 1993, I arrived in Washington, and Democrats controlled the House, the Senate, and the White House. And no one wanted to really work with me because they had everything. And then the Congress flipped, and there was really nobody to lobby on AIDS issues to the Congress. And I didn't know what to do, and I went to one of the most conservative members of the Congress, a man from Oklahoma, Tom Coburn. and we didn't agree on very much at all. But I appealed to him as a Christian, and I appealed to him as a doctor, and I asked for his help. I can say years later, we built a really strong friendship, and he, believe it or not, actually increased funding for AIDS in the 1990s, higher than even the president requested. It's kind of hard to believe. That story doesn't get told, because the story of good versus evil, my side versus your side, but sometimes we just have to recognize that we have good and evil, that's my language, but we have the shadow within ourselves. We have it on our side, whatever we are politically, and we can always use this opportunity when we're angry at the other side to look within and say, what could I change too? And where can I find the common ground? If I don't believe the negative story about that person, can we work at the level of our better angels? And I think that's what we're being called to do. Let's work at the level of our better angels and not fall prey to the narrative of good versus evil, and we're good and they're evil. Thank you.